Saturday the 29th of May, 4:30 a.m, day 7. I came to Holy Island, Lindisfarne, to remember the saints who helped Christianity establish itself in these islands of ours, and I thought there could be no better way to do that than by getting up early to watch the dawn over the sea. Behind me are the ruins of Lindisfarne Priory, the medieval priory that replaced the monastic community set up by St Aidan, an Irish monk and missionary who came from the monastery at Iona in the year 635. The community Aidan started was one famed for its learning, producing objects like the Lindisfarne Gospel, and for its holy men. And among the most holy of them was Cuthbert, who I particularly wanted to remember this morning. Follow the view round. You can see evidence of the fishing industry still hanging on, which is good. Just seen a couple of fishermen on their way to work, and there's a boat just going out now actually. At the end of the mainland there you can see Bamborough Castle, and then looking out are the Farne Islands, where Cuthbert spent some of his time as a hermit. The story is that from boyhood he wanted to be a monk, and he started off in the abbey at Melrose. Then he came here to be a monk, began to explore life as a hermit, first on a little island now known as St Cuthbert's Island, just to the southwest of Holy Island, and later on in a farm. I don't know if you can see just on the horizon, I think it's the one that's shaped like the hull of a ship. He was called back from Innerfarn to be a bishop against his will, but lived a life of wonderful holiness and made a big impact on people and helped spread the Christian faith during that time. At the end of his time as a bishop, he retired and went back to the hermit's life and died there. Anyway, I thought it would be good to hear a little bit about his story from Bede, and as we do that we can just watch the dawn come up. How lovely. Cuthbert served God in solitude for many years, in a hut surrounded by an embankment so high that he could see nothing but the heavens for which he longed so ardently. Then it came about that a great synod was held under the presidency of Archbishop Theodore of blessed memory, and in the presence of King Egfrid. This assembled near the river Arne, at a place called Twyford, or the Two Fords, and the whole company unanimously elected Cuthbert as Bishop of the Church of Lindisfarne. But although many messengers and letters were sent to him, nothing would induce him to abandon his hermitage. At length the king in person, accompanied by the most holy Bishop Trumwyn and other devout and distinguished men, took boat to the island. They were joined by many of the Lindisfarne brethren, and the whole company knelt before him, and adjured him in God's name, and begged him with tears to consent, until eventually they drew him in tears from his dearly loved retreat. As bishop he followed the example of the blessed apostles and enhanced his dignity by his holy actions, protecting the people entrusted to him by his constant prayer, and inspiring them to heavenly things by his salutary teachings. Like a good teacher, he taught others to do only what he practised himself. Above all else, he was afire with heavenly love, unassumingly patient, devoted to unceasing prayer, and kindly to all who came to him for comfort. He regarded as equivalent to prayer the labour of helping the weaker brethren with advice, remembering that he who said, "Thou shalt love the Lord thy God," also said, "Love thy neighbour." His self-discipline and fasting were exceptional, and through the grace of contrition he was always intent on the things of heaven. Lastly, whenever he offered the sacrifice of the saving victim to God, he offered his prayers to God not in a loud voice, but with tears welling up from the depths of his heart. They say the Christian faith is not taught but caught. And I would say that's been true in my own experience. I think of the people who've influenced me and helped me and encouraged me. What they did was not persuade me, rather they brought Christ to me, and in doing that brought me to Christ. With that in mind, it's easy for me to see why these holy people in times long ago were revered in their lifetime, and their bodies became a focus of great devotion in their death. This was the case very much with Cuthbert. He was buried on his island of Innerfarn, but the monks wanted to have the body close to them, so they brought him back to Holy Island. For some reason, after 11 years, the body was dug up again and was found to be perfectly preserved, right down to the vestments in which he was buried, and people flocked to the tomb to pray for healing, and lots of miracles are reported. But late in the 9th century, about the year 875, Viking raiders poured in from over the sea, from out there, and the monks fled, taking the body of their beloved saint with them, overland first to Norham, that we've already been to, and finishing up at Durham, where I'll be on Thursday. That'll complete this segment of my journey south to Walsingham. It's easy to think of these great saints as giants, and we following them are pygmies. But that's the wrong way to view it. All that matters is that we walk with Christ, we follow Christ. And that's got to be enough, hasn't it? O blessed communion, fellowship divine, we feebly struggle, they in glory shine. Yet all are one in thee, O Lord, for all are thine. Alleluia.